Today we're ranking the top 10 computer brands you should avoid if you're a senior, counting down from the worst offenders to the closest thing to safe. From ultra-heavy gaming machines with sky-high price tags to confusing touchscreens, tiny keyboards, and laptops that trap you in costly updates, this list reveals which models create the most hassle, sometimes in ways you'd never expect. But which brand landed the absolute worst spot for senior users? Let's begin with number 1. The Razer Blade stands as the ultimate mismatch for senior users, a machine built for gaming tournaments and high-end workstations, yet sold in the same stores where people shop for everyday computers. At over 8 pounds, this laptop is heavier than some desktop monitors. Just lifting it onto a kitchen table can feel like a workout, and its 18-inch display makes it impossible to use anywhere but a sturdy desk. For seniors who value comfort and portability, the sheer size and weight of the Blade 18 create a barrier before the device is even powered on. But the challenges don't stop at the hardware. The Razer Blade 18 costs more than $2,500, yet most of that price goes toward features few seniors will ever use. A high refresh gaming screen, a graphics chip that runs hot, and a design bristling with customizable lights and performance dashboards. Even simple tasks like checking email or joining a video call can be interrupted by the constant hum of cooling fans, which can reach over 55 decibels, louder than a normal conversation, especially during video chats or light multitasking. Battery life in real-world use drops under 3 hours, forcing the laptop to stay plugged in almost all the time, robbing it of any practical mobility. Maintenance is another hidden hurdle. The Blade 18 regularly prompts for firmware and graphics driver updates, many of which are aimed at gamers but still must be managed by all users. For seniors unfamiliar with these notifications, the update process can be confusing and time-consuming, often requiring restarts and troubleshooting. The powerful graphics hardware also generates extra heat, which can shorten the lifespan of internal components if not properly managed. For those simply looking to browse the web, video call with family, or enjoy photos, the Razer Blade 18 is overkill. Its desk-only footprint, constant need for updates, and steep price tag combine to make it the least senior-friendly laptop on the market. The result is a device that creates obstacles at every turn: physical, technical, and financial, setting the highest bar for hassle in this ranking. Alienware's 16X gaming laptop brings a different kind of challenge for seniors, a web of brand-specific parts and costly repairs that can turn a simple problem into a major headache. Weighing in at over 7 pounds, the 16X is nearly as heavy as a small desktop PC. But it's the proprietary hardware that causes the most trouble. Unlike most laptops that use standard chargers, Alienware relies on a bulky 240-watt power brick with a custom connector. If that charger gets lost or fails, generic replacements won't work. During supply chain shortages, some users have waited weeks just to find a compatible adapter, leaving them stranded with a dead machine. Repair costs are another hidden risk. Alienware parts, like screens, batteries, and keyboards, are often unique to each model, driving up prices and limiting options for service. Out-of-warranty fixes for a cracked screen or failed battery can easily top $400, and many repair shops turn away Alienware jobs due to the complexity and part scarcity. Even small issues like a broken key or faulty USB port can mean shipping the laptop back to Dell and waiting for expensive factory repairs. The software experience adds another layer of confusion. Alienware Command Center, performance dashboards, and RGB lighting controls crowd the desktop with pop-ups and settings menus. For seniors used to straightforward computers, these extras can make routine tasks feel overwhelming. The laptop's fans reach around 50 decibels under light use, noticeable during video calls or web browsing. And battery life rarely lasts more than 4 hours, making the device desk-bound despite its portable form. Vendor lock-in doesn't just raise costs, It creates long stretches of downtime if anything goes wrong. Seniors who depend on their laptop for daily communication or bill payments can find themselves cut off for days, or forced to pay a premium for repairs that would be simpler and cheaper on a more standard model. The Alienware 16X may promise power and prestige, but for older users, it delivers more hassle than help. The ASUS ROG Zephyrus G14 looks sleek and modern, but its compact frame hides a set of challenges that make it especially tough for seniors to use comfortably. At just 3.5 pounds, it's much lighter than the gaming giants that come before it in this ranking. Yet, the trade-off is a 14-inch QHD screen that shrinks everything – text, icons, and buttons – down to a scale that can be difficult to read, even with system zoom turned up. During usability testing, seniors often found themselves increasing font size to 125% or more just to read emails or browse the web. This constant need to adjust settings isn't just inconvenient, it becomes a daily frustration for those with aging eyes. The keyboard, too, sacrifices comfort for compactness. The G14 omits a number pad entirely and relies on shortened arrow keys and shallow key travel, which can be a struggle for anyone with arthritis or reduced finger dexterity. Typing out passwords or longer messages often leads to missed keystrokes and the kind of small errors that slow everything down. The absence of a number pad is more than a minor annoyance. It makes tasks like entering phone numbers, doing online banking, or even using calculator apps noticeably harder. Despite its premium build and fast performance, the G14 runs hot and loud, even under light use. Fan noise regularly hits 45 decibels during video calls or streaming, which can be distracting in a quiet home. The lightweight chassis, while easy to pick up, feels less sturdy than larger laptops, leaving some users worried about durability if the device is dropped or bumped. Priced around $1,400, the Zephyrus G14 asks seniors to pay for high-end graphics and gaming features they'll rarely use. For everyday tasks, the small screen, noisy fans, and cramped keyboard combine to make basic computing harder than it needs to be. The lesson is clear: a smaller, lighter laptop isn't always a better fit, especially when it comes at the cost of readability and comfort. Subscription costs and battery surprises often catch new users off guard with the Acer Chromebook Plus 516GE. The 16-inch display, running at a 120Hz refresh rate by default, draws more power than most seniors expect. In real-world use, battery life can slip below 6 hours, sometimes even less if the screen brightness is turned up to fight glare. Unlike traditional laptops, the high refresh rate offers no benefit for reading emails or browsing news sites, but it quietly chips away at battery reserves, forcing more frequent trips to the charger. The 516GE leans heavily on cloud-based apps and services. Many of the tools promoted on the home screen, like cloud gaming, advanced photo editing, and extra storage, require ongoing subscriptions. Google Photos, for example, limits free storage and nudges users toward paid plans for original quality. Cloud gaming services such as GeForce Now only unlock their best features with monthly fees. Even basic tasks like streaming movies or editing documents can trigger pop-ups for upgrades or premium access. Chrome OS itself presents a learning curve for anyone used to Windows. The keyboard layout is different, and many apps only run with a strong internet connection. For seniors who just want a simple, reliable computer, the combination of hidden subscription traps, heavy hardware, and unfamiliar software makes the 516GE a risky bet, especially when easier, more affordable options are out there. Convertible laptops like the Dell Inspiron 16 Plus 2-in-1 are often marketed as the best of both worlds, offering a full laptop experience with the flexibility of a tablet. But for seniors, the reality is far less convenient. The 16-inch screen, while spacious for reading, turns into a liability when the device is flipped into tablet mode. At 2.1 kilograms, over 4.5 pounds, holding the Inspiron as a tablet quickly becomes tiring, especially for those with limited grip strength or arthritis. Retirement community tech staff have reported a steady stream of hinge failures on these models, sometimes within the first year of use. When the hinge breaks, the entire lid often needs to be replaced, a repair that can cost hundreds of dollars and leave the laptop out of commission for weeks. The touchscreen, another selling point, introduces its own set of problems. Fingerprints and glare build up rapidly, making the display harder to read in typical home lighting. Seniors with vision challenges find themselves constantly wiping the screen or squinting through reflections. Switching between laptop, tent, and tablet modes isn't always intuitive. Accidentally rotating the screen or triggering an orientation lock can confuse even experienced users. While the Inspiron 16 Plus 2-in-1 offers a large, clear display and responsive touch, its mechanical complexity and physical heft create more risk than reward for older adults seeking a dependable, easy-to-use computer. At just 2.8 pounds, the Microsoft Surface Laptop Copilot Plus looks like the perfect travel companion, but its slim design comes at a steep cost for senior users. The device relies almost entirely on USB-C ports, no full-size USB-A, HDMI, or SD card slots, forcing users to buy and juggle adapters just to connect a mouse, printer, or camera. For seniors used to plugging in accessories directly, this quickly becomes a source of daily frustration. Each new device means another dongle, another chance for something to get lost or break. The problems run deeper than missing ports. Inside, the Surface Laptop Copilot Plus uses soldered IAM and storage, locking out any chance of affordable upgrades or simple repairs. If the battery or keyboard fails, the entire top case often needs replacement, with repair bills frequently topping $500. Unlike traditional business laptops, local repair shops can't help. Service must go through Microsoft, adding both cost and downtime. The Copilot Plus branding adds layers of AI-driven features and interface changes, but these bring little real benefit to seniors who just want reliable email, browsing, and video calls. Instead, the complexity increases the risk of accidental settings changes and confusing pop-ups. For many, the Surface Laptop Copilot Plus means paying a premium for portability, then facing a long-term burden of adapters and expensive repairs. The promise of cutting-edge design is overshadowed by the reality of limited usability and mounting costs. OLED screens promise stunning color and deep blacks, but for seniors using the Samsung Galaxy Book 5 Pro, the reality is less inviting. The 15.6-inch dynamic AMOLED display boasts a sharp 3K resolution and a lightweight frame at just 2.7 pounds. Yet the glossy anti-reflective coating reflects over 4% of ambient light, twice as much as the best matte panels. In a sunlit room or under bright lamps, mirror-like glare can make text hard to read, forcing users to crank the brightness up to the maximum 400 nits. That brightness comes at a cost. Battery life, already rated for about 7 hours in moderate use, can drop by as much as 40% when the screen is set to full power. Eye strain isn't just a matter of numbers. Seniors with reduced contrast sensitivity or dry eyes often report discomfort after only a short session, especially when squinting through reflections. To add to the challenge, the Book 5 Pro arrives packed with Samsung ecosystem apps, prompts, and sync tools, each requesting logins, permissions, or setup steps. For anyone not already invested in the Samsung world, this onboarding process can turn a simple purchase into an afternoon of pop-ups and prompts. The keyboard, while stylish, is shallow and compact, making typing difficult for those with arthritis or limited dexterity. Premium visuals and featherweight design sound appealing, but the trade-offs are real. More glare, more setup, and less comfort for everyday use. For seniors who just want to open a laptop and get started, the Galaxy Book 5 Pro's glossy OLED and ecosystem hurdles make it a less practical choice than its price and looks suggest. AI branding has become the latest buzzword in laptops, but for seniors using the Acer Aspire 14 AI, it mostly means more clutter and extra steps. Every few weeks, the system nudges users to install new AI updates, sometimes from Windows, sometimes from Acer's own apps. These updates rarely improve anything for basic tasks like email or web browsing, but they still demand attention, downloads, and the occasional restart. For someone who just wants a computer that works, these pop-ups and patches feel more like chores than progress. The Aspire 14 AI arrives with a handful of Acer-branded utilities. Acer Sense for system management, Purified View for webcam tweaks, and Purified Voice for microphone noise reduction. None of these are essential for everyday use, but they live in the background, each with its own icon and settings menu. Alongside these, there's a trial antivirus, a travel booking app, and Acer's product registration tool, standard bloatware that clutters the start menu and adds to the confusion. At £3, the Aspire 14 AI is easy to carry, but its 14-inch screen and compact keyboard make typing and reading a challenge for aging eyes and hands. Most of the so-called AI features require an internet connection and regular updates, turning what should be a simple device into a moving target. For $700, seniors end up with a laptop that promises the future but delivers a steady stream of distractions and digital housekeeping. Apple's MacBook Air 13-inch M4 stands out for its slim build, silent operation, and a battery that stretches to 15 hours, features that promise freedom from constant charging. Yet, the experience shifts once the device is open. The 13.6-inch Retina display, though crisp, compresses text and icons into a tight space. During usability studies, most older adults increase system zoom to 125% or more. But even then, the default keyboard font remained thin and small, making longer sessions tiring on the eyes. The minimalist design means only 2 USB-C ports, no USB-A, HDMI, or SD card slot. Everyday accessories demand adapters, adding cost and the risk of misplacing a dongle. For those used to Windows, the absence of a right-click button introduces a new set of gestures and shortcuts, turning basic actions into lessons in adaptation. Repairs are costly. Battery or screen replacements often exceed $300, and upgrades are impossible, as storage and memory are soldered in place. The MacBook Air's strengths, long battery life, and portability are offset by its compact screen, gesture-driven interface, and the practical hassle of adapters. For many, these hurdles outweigh the promise of all-day power. Samsung's Galaxy Chromebook Go 14 lands at the bottom of this list, not for any standout quality, but because its flaws are less severe than the competition. At around $250, it tempts buyers with affordability, yet the savings come with clear limits. The Go 14's 4GB of RAM is quickly overwhelmed. Testing revealed that opening several browser tabs or running basic tasks like email and music streaming led to slowdowns and occasional freezes. For those expecting smooth, reliable performance, these hiccups can turn daily use into a test of patience. Storage is another constraint. With only 128 gigabytes of eMMC, the drive fills up after a few updates, family photos, and some downloaded files. Chrome OS is intended to be straightforward, but for anyone accustomed to Windows or Mac, it presents a learning curve that can be discouraging. The keyboard, small and shallow, is tiring during long emails or video calls, and the lightweight plastic chassis feels fragile. After a year, usability studies found sticky keys and a less responsive touchpad, raising questions about long-term durability. Battery life is a rare bright spot, lasting 10 to 12 hours on a charge. For basic browsing and email, the Go 14 is serviceable, but its low price means accepting frequent slowdowns, limited storage, and hardware that feels maxed out from day one. Affordability, in this case, comes with hidden costs. From the desk-bound Razer Blade 18, crowned the worst laptop for seniors due to its overwhelming size, weight, and constant maintenance needs, to the more forgiving but still flawed Samsung Galaxy Chromebook Go 14, this countdown reveals just how challenging the laptop landscape can be for older users. Across all 10 entries, the most shocking theme is that premium price or cutting-edge features rarely translate to real-world ease. Instead, heavy gaming rigs, ultra-thin ultrabooks, and AI-packed machines consistently introduce barriers, whether through small, hard-to-read screens, confusing software layers, or fragile hardware. The list shows a clear pattern. Brands often prioritize specs and trends over practical usability, leaving seniors to navigate a maze of dongles, glare, and costly repairs. The ranking criteria focused on factors like weight, keyboard comfort, battery life, screen clarity, and software simplicity, essentials that many brands overlook. Ultimately, this list proves that the most recognizable names aren't always the safest bet. For seniors or anyone seeking simplicity and reliability, understanding these pitfalls is essential before making a purchase.